The front page of the Sunday Times today has this headline: Corbyn blames beheading on West. It's found YouTube footage of Corbyn talking in October 2014. That was before he was leader. This was the day after footage had appeared of Alan Henning, the Salford cabbie who was beheaded by Islamic State. So it's the day after that. This is what Jeremy Corbyn said in his own words.
And thank you everyone for coming here today. And I'm pleased that we started with a period of silence for Alan Henning and all those others that have died in this appalling conflict. Because we have to remember them and remember that the price of war, the price of intervention, the price of jingoism is somebody else's son and somebody else's daughter, either being killed or being killed by somebody else.
Henning's death is the price of jingoism, the price of intervention. Now, I want to do Corbyn the credit of taking this argument seriously. I'm not going to argue he's being disrespectful at all, because I don't think he is. He's saying our foreign policy, our decision to go into Iraq, has led to the murder of a man. And I don't accept that argument, although I do understand it. I think he's confusing, as the simplistic very often do, correlation and causation. Nobody can argue seriously that Britain has failed. No one can fail to argue that Britain has contributed to the destabilising of the Middle East, going back to the end of the First World War. We intervened in Iraq, Afghanistan and Libya and created power vacuums there. We caused problems in that region. I'm not defending, and nor would Jeremy Corbyn, our foreign policy. But what I am saying is that we do, and he doesn't want to do this, and again, this is not an ad hominem attack on him, we do excuse the mad monomaniacs of ISIS when we put a scaffold of rationality to justify their actions. ISIS isn't a murderous death cult because of British foreign policy. They murder because they believe in a primitive version of Islam, which has its basis in the 18th century, which demands violence and horror, and intolerance of other Muslims, and intolerance of non-Muslims, of gay people and secular people. That's the root of the problem. That's why Alan Henning was murdered, not our nation's actions. ISIS themselves are massive propagandists. They push out their reasons for murder all the time. It's seldom about geopolitics. It's about anger against unbelievers. This is from one of their magazines. We hate you, first and foremost, because you are disbelievers. You reject the oneness of Allah, whether you realise it or not. That's not about a decision to fight in Iraq. Murder is the price of jingoism, says Corbyn. The rise of ISIS is payback for Western arrogance, says Corbyn.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.